These last couple years, the men's jumps has reached a near all-time low. Just to see some of the best jumps in the past decade, within the span of 5 days, in Europe alone.
This twice in his career. Oh, huge! The crowd go wild.
Spread across this week was the 2024 European Championships. And let me just tell you now, the US are getting railed in the field events this year. It all kicked off first with the men's long jump. In qualifying, we saw Switzerland's Mihambo go massive with a new world leading mark of 8 meters and 41 centimeters. But that joy would only be lived for a singular day, because when the finals rocked around, no one would be able to touch the Greek champion Miltiadis Tentoglou. Round 1, basically a warm-up jump. He beat his Mihambo's world leading mark by 1 centimeter, just showing him who's boss. Fulani would also do work, going 8:38, his second under 20 world record in 2 weeks. But then would follow the Tentoglou domination. 8:49, 8:45, a huge 8.65 meters in round 5, 1 centimeter away from Greece's national record, and also destroying his own championship record. And with one final attempt, he goes huge again. Repeating the exact same mark. Even he's flabbergasted. He won this competition with every single jump, and also furthered the world lead with every single jump. If track and field gambling was a thing, betting on Tentoglou is almost as safe as it gets. He's won 5 of the last 6 major titles since 2021. Both men's and women's hurdles were also shockingly good. First we saw France's Samba Mayala run a top 10 time ever, en route to a massive world lead.
So decent getaway from Sarah Lavin. Kambundji as well, tries to hold them off. Kambundji trying to close, but goal for France.
12.31 seconds, further adding to the disgusting depth of the greatest generation of women hurdlers to walk the earth. And I mean the times that followed her were also pretty insane. While Italy's Simonelli, goes for the second fastest time in the world, behind this guy.
Under away this time, and Simonelli gets an excellent start. Simonelli, now it is Simonelli all the way through to the line. Just look at that timing.
13.05 seconds, a clean national record. Oh, and Marcell is my hero right Jacobs, takes the 100 meter title, and he's just happy to be in form and in health. If he somehow yoinks the Olympic title again this year, how would you feel? Day 3, and the women's would continue to strut their good form. Ukraine's Mclaughlin for a routine 2 meter jump, 2:01 to be exact, for another classy win. Serbia's Topic also ended another routine 197 for second, and the consistency queen Gerashenko is finding her form for 3rd. Honestly, both Mclaughlin and Topic have been ploughing these heights the entire year. It's just a matter of time till we see the next level. And fan favourite UK's Dean Asher-Smith is a bit confused after running faster in the semis.
So eyes on Asher-Smith, doesn't get the best start at all. Boda fighting as well, Asher-Smith by a narrow...
Still, a solid title win in 10.99 against Barbie and Dosso, who took medals at World Indoors this year. Day 4 was the day of the 400s, and they've just been going hard lately. Belgium's Dome is building a nice individual resume this year, taking World Indoors, now the European title. Funnily enough, the time would have also been a European record if UK's Matthew Hudson-Smith hadn't yorked it the week prior.
4.16 seconds.
He was this close. And like most of you know, the women's 400 has just been absolutely mouth-watering lately. This is the most depth we've seen since the women look like men. Poland's Kazmarek barely inches ahead of Ireland's Adeleke to the 3rd sub-49 second of the year.
Legs the strength and the experience, and she nails it there. But look at the gap behind them, 48.98.
48.98 seconds. And while an elite bloody time, not even close to the championship record. The 80s just had that superior tech. And now, for the greatest showman in track and field, Italy's Gianmarco Tamberi. This man is purely fueled by how many eyes are on him. So give him a home country championship? Shit, it was sold from the beginning. As per usual of a championship that's not quite world or Olympic level, he's putting on a show at the lower heights, missing 229 twice, clearing it, then missing 233 twice, skipping to 234, and then garnering complete silence from the entire stadium.
Looping in. Oh, unbelievable!
Just to go over it as a last-ditch clutch effort, then pulling one of the greatest stunts in modern athletics.
Mamma mia, risultato. Attenzione, si è fatto male forse? No, le
Eccola lì, strucco.
Vabbè, abbiamo capito, abbiamo capito.
That's right, he faked an injury, scaring the living hell out of every Italian worldwide to set up the classic, I had springs in my shoes the entire time. And then somehow, after all the shenanigans, he clears 237 first try for the championship record and world leading mark. His ability to find focus in chaos is second to none. And believe it or not, no man has ever won back-to-back Olympic high jump golds. But with this form, and an absolute pure love for the sport, he might be the first to do it. But if anyone had springs in their shoes today, it was the men's triple jumpers. Only 7 in history have ever gone over 18 meters. And somehow today, we saw 2 of them do it in one competition for arguably the greatest triple jump competition of all time. First, it would actually be one of those 7, Pedro Picado of Portugal, going a huge 18.04 meters, right behind his best from 2017. And that would also steal the championship record from the world record holder Jonathan Edwards. Just for Spain's Jordan Diaz Fortune to nail an egregious 30 centimeter personal best to go 18.18 meters.
That is absolutely huge from the Spaniard.
Stealing the championship record within the same hour. That jump is now the 3rd furthest jump in the event's history, while also cementing himself as an official 8th member to join the elusive 18 meter club. But probably the funniest part of it all is Picado coming out on social media and being a sore loser. And closing out an electric day, both Karsten Warholm and Femke Bol crushed the 400 hurdles in almost identical races, both leading from gun to tape, beating their own championship records. Except Bol did kinda do it better, winning by a comically large 2 seconds, while also crushing Sydney Mclaughlin's world lead. Probably the only time you'll ever hear those names in that order. Now, for the final day. Duplantis, 6.1 meters. That beats his own championship record, and sadly, he missed out on 3 world record attempts again. Dude is literally SpongeBob screaming, I need it. Germany's Mihambo shoots down Texas Ranger Tara Davis Woodhall, and to be honest, kind of slaughtered her world lead. Round 2, she goes 7.22 meters, but in a hefty negative 1.4 wind. That's just concerning for any female long jumpers out there. And Jakob Ingebrigtsen was seen cooking this week instead of swimming. He won the 5k earlier, but in the 1500 heats, in a display of weird dominance, he went from last to first over the final lap. And then in the final, he used a fraction of his full power to just decimate everyone.
Down the outside, Ingebrigtsen takes it there, and it's Belgium taking the silver.
Over the course of the weekend, we saw 15 championship records go down and 7 world leads, almost all of them coming from the field events. Bring back the Europe vs USA track meet, I say, or at least Italy vs USA, because goddamn they're good. Oh, also, quick bonus New York Grand Prix coverage. It happened a while ago, so I'm sure most of you know. Lyles ran a 1977 into a negative 1.6 headwind, which is actually just straight up ridiculous, but the cameraman could almost keep up. Sydney Mclaughlin takes out the super students in Arkansas for the 400 meter world lead, also almost taking out the American record. Standard freak behavior. But by far my favorite unknown performance of the meet was Dontavius Hill, a hero in the niche high jump community, opened his competition 2 centimeters above his personal best, and fucking nailed it for the win. I cannot describe how massive this man's nuts are to pull that off. I'm not sure an elite level athlete has ever actually done that. And with that, I say goodbye.